It's Malara Green, and you're watching the Superwoman Project. Please enjoy this next episode. Who are you?
That's a loaded question a little bit. I'm just learning who I am. Amber is a creative, a healer, a bearer of light. That's something that I have just recently walked into and noticed that was one of my gifts. So in the past year, I have discovered who Amber really is, and that's who she is.
Ooh, that literally just gave me chills, man. Because I think you assume that people know who they are because they show up, but it don't mean they're showing up. So now that you know who you are, what are some of the things that you're up to?
I am a recent best-selling author. This is actually my second anthology, my second work. I have several other books in the works also. They should be published within the next year or 18 months. I'm an artist. I do custom personalized art for any occasion that you can think of. I also do some things in financial services. I'm a creator and a helper. That's what I do. So, yeah.
So why is being creative and helping others so important for you?
It means a lot to me because in discovering myself, like I previously stated, I realized that God gave me the gift to create because everybody can't create. Like some people can put things together, but it's not actually creating something that's cohesive. God actually gave me that gift to create, and it wasn't until I knew who I was that I could actually create. So it's very important to me that people recognize what they have within so that they can give their all and put it out to the world and give them their gifts. So
yes. I typically tell people, like I say, if you don't know who you are, you're going to settle for anything. If you only love yourself 60% and somebody comes in and they love you 61%, it's going to feel like everything because they're feeling a part of you that you haven't filled. But it's when I can get to 100% and I allow for people to just compliment my life and not fill my life, that's when I can do something different. So what would you say has filled your life now that you know who you are? What are those things that are in your space that really makes Amber Amber?
The biggest thing is forgiveness. I have been through a very traumatic life in numerous aspects. Difficult marriage, difficult childhood abuse, sexual, emotional, all of it. Like I've been through that, and I carried that with me for so long that it became who I was, and that's who I emulated to the world. This mask of Amber is who I was. I put on whatever hat that I needed to in whatever situation. I was my kid's mom, I was my spouse's wife at that moment, but I really didn't know who I was. And now that I have lifted that mask and showed the ugliness that was behind it and healed through that ugliness, and now I feel beautiful, and that's just who I am. And that's what takes up my space now is the beauty of realizing what I really am, who I really am, the light that I actually am.
Man, it really sounds like over the last year you wrote the conclusion of your old book and you're walking into a new book.
Yeah.
If you could give a title to the Amber you are today and where you're going, what would that book be called?
Fresh Start. Yeah.
Man, that is so powerful. And a lot of people don't do a fresh start because they don't know that they're enough. They don't know that they're worth the journey. They don't know that their worth was on the other side. So if you had to tell someone who was in or is in your shoes with the abuse, childhood, marriage, and everything in between, what would you tell them so that they can know that they're enough to get to where you are today?
I would say to take the time to listen to what is coming from within you, because we all have that soft, still voice, Holy Spirit, higher self, whatever it is that you relate to that. Everybody has that voice inside that is always speaking to your best self, where regardless of how deeply buried it is, that little still small voice is always inside. So I would say listen to that voice, because that's what guided me to where I'm at. Because had I stifled it like I had done for so many years, I would not be where I am today. So that's the first step, is to listen to that small voice.
Man, well, I'm definitely gonna tell you you're a superwoman, and I love to see the fact that you're writing a new book. And as your sister, as your friend, I'm ecstatic because I know how many women you're going to change lives. Just keep writing the books, keep telling your story, because your story is definitely healing. But to see you actually live out your healing, that's a whole nother level and a whole nother flex. So thank you so much for just taking time with me because I know that there's going to be somebody who's going to learn from you and decide to keep living just because they've heard Amber's story. So thank you.
Thank you.